Welcome to the Eagle Eye Podcast, the number one show to bring you all things Club America in English, from tactical analysis
Pelota para la banda izquierda.
to player updates. We've got you covered on all the latest news on Las Águilas. Now, let's start the show. This is the Eagle Eye Podcast.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of the Eagle Eye Podcast. Today, we're going to be talking all things Club America. Happy New Year's to all of our listeners as we are back to start off the new year and hopefully kick off the start to the Bicampeonato. So, plenty to talk about. Season's just around the corner, and we're here to get you guys caught up with everything Las Águilas de la América. But joining me today is quite a full panel roster here. Talented group of individuals as always. Let me introduce the man himself from Brooklyn, Mr. AJ. AJ, how are you, my friend?
Doing good. Happy New Year's to everyone here on the Eagle Eye Podcast and to the viewers. Finally back. Happy to be back here on the pod talking all things Club America.
Of course. Glad to have you back on. Finally talk all things Club America, especially after lifting the glorious and mythical 14. So I'm glad to get you back on here and talk all things, like we mentioned, Águilas. And to the bottom of me on the screen here is none other than the man himself from Orange County. It is Chris Rivera. Chris, how are you, my friend?
Good. Happy New Year's to everybody listening and to you guys too. You know, still in cloud nine because of the 14th, but it's time to get ready for the new season.
Yeah, no, of course. Time to get ready for the new season. And like we mentioned, we got plenty to talk about in regards to this team, some changes. I think I've kind of talked about it to you previously. Is I wasn't expecting a lot of changes to happen in this winter, but come summer, I think there are going to be a lot of things that are going to be offsetting the balance in this America side. But we'll get to all those points in a little bit later. And then, of course, joining us today, it is a man that has been on quite the bender since his birthday. It is the man himself, the mythical legend. It is none other than Dylan, a.k.a. Cowboy Dan. My friend, how are you? Happy birthday. Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year's. That's all that happened and took place over the past couple of days. So, no, man, feel good. Turned to another year older at the start of the year. And, I'm just like Chris, was on cloud nine going into it. But now I'm just like, I'm back here to earth, just ready to go on an adventure for the 15th now.
No, yeah, of course. It's just slowly but surely we're going to start building our chambelanes and get ready for the quinceañera that is hopefully America's crowning this May. But still plenty of work that needs to get done before we eventually get to that point and step in time. But yeah, gentlemen, Christian should be joining us a little bit shorter. He is stuck in traffic, as we well know. If it's not California traffic, it's New York traffic that's going to get you. So, I'm sure Christian's on his way home, speeding down. I don't know the freeways over there, AJ. So you'd have to help me on that one.
So the Verrazano Bridge. He's making his way from Brooklyn to Staten Island now. I mean, the upper bridge when it's closed. It's a nightmare going on the lower level. So he's gonna be in that bridge from some time.
Okay, well, shout outs to Christian. Hopefully he makes it in time to at least talk transfer rumors. I know that's his favorite thing to do. But all right, gentlemen, last we spoke, Chris, America had just lifted the 14th, and we were on the cusp of playing against Barcelona. That game ended up going to be a 3-2 victory, in which we also lifted another trophy, which I kind of joke around and saying that we are champions of beating Barcelona. And kind of wraps up 2013 and kind of a pretty nice little bow tie and everything. Just kind of overall reactions, like we mentioned, we were on cloud nine. Now I think little by little, especially after that Barcelona win, I think it just gives you more of a push to be like, okay, yeah, we're the champions. We beat Barcelona the year. How do you feel now knowing that, okay, we're back to the regular, day-to-day commotion that is start of the season and the new objective, which is, of course, as always, be champions?
I think you got to erase everything that just happened. I think we can't look at it from just being at a high, because the moment we fall is gonna be like the worst drop ever for us. You know what I mean? Fan base, even players. So for me, like beating Barca was cool. You know, it's always nice to beat a big name like that. But now the focus needs to be on Cholos. Now the focus has to be on this season, because you know it's one of those things where we could be champions, right? But we can't feel almighty just because of what happened last season. We gotta just continue to work and do what we did last season, so we could accomplish the bicampeonato.
But yeah, I think very much truly said right there, Dylan. I mean, would you add anything else to that?
No, I don't at all. I agree with Chris in a sense that, but I kind of want in a sense, to still feel that, going into the season, like, yeah, like, we're champions, but you're not necessarily riding that cloud nine, just to have the acknowledgement that, this is pretty much the same group that just won it all, what seems like a couple weeks ago. And now you're starting the new campaign of going out and being bicampeonatos, which is something that obviously I think we all want. But it's just still acknowledging it, but not necessarily writing it, but staying here on the ground, knowing that you still got a lot of work ahead of you if you want to repeat as champions.
AJ, I think the one thing that we all are probably scared of is campeonitis, right? Thinking that we're just above everyone else. We get so much caught high in our heads. We get overconfident, and then of course results don't start going your way, and because of that, slowly but surely things start falling apart. So I don't think that's exactly what we want. We want to avoid that as much as possible, and that seems to be a tendency of champions, right? You come in, the turn of the season is very quickly. You're still kind of on that high of, okay, I just won a championship. What do you think America needs to do in order to kind of stray away from that?
Just kind of have that mentality, it's a new season. You're coming off as champions, but now, you got to start from the beginning now. You need to prove yourselves again to why you're the team that's a favorite to lift the 15th, to lift that bicampeonato again. So just try to make, don't really just be focused on it's like, oh, we're champions, like, oh, we're unstoppable. No. In this kind of league, in Liga MX, anything can happen. You could literally be in Liguilla one season. Next thing you know, you're like in the bottom 3 of the league table, and you just miss out on Liguilla, and then everyone's just going to start wondering, how did this same team, won the whole thing last season, and this season they just fell apart completely. So America, knowing, we've had history where we won back in 2013, we got decimated against Leon, and the next season we then won in 2018, then we ended up battling the final against the Rayals in 2019. So it's gonna be like in those kind of memories you look at America now. Don't repeat the past mistakes. This time, make it different. This time, make it the first time now where America, where we go and get that bicampeonato. That's what everyone wants at America, but it's also most important as well. Be humble, and now just now focus on to the next tile. Don't hold on to the last tile you recently won. Now it's a good thing, that to have and to hold on to. But for now, just focus on to the next objective, which is finish top of the table, get into Liguilla, and most importantly, winning the whole thing.
I like the word you used, objectives, because that's literally transitioning into the next thing that I wanted to talk about was obviously the start of the season. What is the objective for America? Obviously, we know it's title or bust. It's always going to be the same. It's just the stature of the club and the institution that we are. The biggest club in Mexico, biggest club in the world. So obviously, the stature is title after title after title. And if it's not, it's a bust. But before we jump into that, I just want to say shout out to Alan saying we're playing under 23 players on Saturday. We'll talk about that, Alan. Don't worry. There's a couple of starters that are going to be there. Luis G saying good evening, Campeones. Good evening to you, Mr. Campeon, as well. And then, of course, Giovanni saying Club America have 2 major tournaments going into the season, Champions Cup and Leagues Cup. Of course, the Leagues Cup is the most prestigious one of them all, Chris. I'm just saying.
No comment.
Well, let's talk about this season for America, because it's quite a heavy one for America as far as games go, right? Obviously, we won't talk League Cup because that's in the summer. You don't have to worry about that just yet. But Champions League is around the corner, so you're going to be playing 2 competitions, which is going to be the League and Champions League. So my question to you, gentlemen, is what is the objective here. For what are the expectations for America? Because how do you improve from last season going into this one, knowing that you were the best offense, the best defense, finished with a pretty good chunk of point margin. You broke the 40-point margin as well. Dylan, how do you go from that season and improve on to this one? Is that even possible?
I think in a sense what I'm thinking of, and I don't know if this necessarily answers your question, but how did Ned change, not necessarily change his style, not necessarily change what's been working, but how does he mix it up in a little bit to where it's not the same thing? It's not going to be the same thing that people saw this past season that obviously lifted us, that gave us the 14th. I kind of want to see a little things in a little bit different in terms of, I guess in a sense, some play style because eventually, for 17 weeks, people are going to see the same thing whenever they're watching the game film. And so it's just a question of whether, how did that change up a little bit of things to get that better, whether it be, you know, having more of that Quinones, the Valdez, and Henry Styles that we've all really wanted and really didn't get a whole lot of too. I feel like that in a sense is going to be something that's going to be big. And how can you improve upon their play? How can you have these players fit week in and week out to be able to go out in their best form? And I just want to see things and into that nature too, to where we see something a little bit different, not too different, but something to keep people on their toes, to keep us on our toes.
Chris, I think Dylan brings up a very good point. It's how does Cardinal freshen up this same squad? This is basically the same team, not a lot of ins and outs. Now, again, I don't expect a lot to shift, and
No.
I would think that's the right thing to do, honestly, because I'm going to throw the question out to all of you, and that is, what is more important this season? That Bicampeonato 15th or the CONCACAF Champions League? Which one weighs higher on the scale of importance for America this season? I have my answer, but I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say. So I'll throw it to you first, Chris.
I think equal. I think you could argue more Champions League just because of what the World Cup of Clubs is now, right? Where it's like a bunch of the teams, and you have to have the biggest team of Mexico or the continent, right, in that tournament. But I also think now is when we start making that huge gap between our rivals, right, with Chivas. So to me, it's equal. To me, it's gonna hurt if we don't win one, right? You might win the one of them and miss on the other, but it's gonna hurt regardless. So for me personally, I think it's equal. I think maybe, right? Maybe you give it more importance to the Champions League, but like I said, personally, I can't. We have to be bicampeones. To me, it's time we show the dominance of what we are, right? There's always this argument of only one league title or two or whatever. Like now it's time to really have that dynasty that I always felt we got robbed, whether it was the last 2018 team, right? Or the 13 or even 205, right? Just the ones I've lived. I feel like those could have done a lot more. And now it's time to really have that dynasty. Have this decade of just 5 league titles or whatever, just have a lot of league titles in this decade. And I think, like I said, it's equal to me. I can't really choose one or the other.
Okay, all right. Alan saying, I agree with Chris. Both are as important. It's America. Dylan.
I'm gonna go a different route, because obviously I do agree that both are important. But if I really had to pick one, I would really pick the Coca Champions, just because that final loss against Monterrey, that still kind of haunts me a little bit to this day. So I would really, really, if I had to pick one, it's gonna be that one, because I feel like this club has a lot to redeem itself whenever you look at that squad, whenever you look at that time, whenever, it just felt like it was like right there, but that one stupid mistake, and what is, I guess in a sense, what did Monterrey do all the rest of the game, to really kind of deserve that? So, but that one mistake was obviously costly and costed us big time. So really, I'm gonna go with that one.
All right. Well, you're not alone. Jason says CONCACAF, right? The importance of having a ballot to the Intercontinental and a 2025 Club World Cup seat. It's important. It's very important. And you mentioned something too, Dylan. On the international stage, I don't think we've showed our best face. Let's be honest. In games where it matters, we haven't. I still remember the ridiculous that we did against Barcelona back in what was it, Chris? 2007, 2008.
7, yeah, 7, I believe.
I do you guys remember the ridicule that was America when we got knocked out in that first game against what was it? It was a Chinese team.
Yeah,
I remember that it
Japanese.
was 2017. I
Yeah.
remember. I think it was.
and I wasn't a
it was
fan of the
Guangzhou.
La Volpe team either.
Yeah,
We
no.
played against Real Madrid very safe, very like not to lose, and
Yeah,
I
pretty
mean
much.
I'm not a fan of
So-
that squad, but
Mhm.
either way, we.
I mean,
you know?
yeah, there you go. Alan is saying
Right.
Guanzhou or something like that. Something.
Yeah.
It sounded like a garbanzo type of me.
Guangzhou, yeah.
But yeah, no, I agree. I think that there's an importance here to kind of show face that we are the team that we claim to be, and that we can prove it on the international stage as well. That's super crucial, I think, as well. So I agree with you in that sense. All right, AJ, you're kind of the deciding factor here. Chris has gone Liga MX. Well, kind of in a sense, both. The importance of having both. Dylan's gone one way with the CONCACAF Champions League. Where are you kind of steering? What should be the ultimate prize for America here? Obviously, both would be perfect, but if you had to pick one.
I miss us being in the Club World Cup, especially on that international stage. For me, just CONCACAF Champions League. I always had like fond memories of CONCACAF Champions League, surprisingly more than like our league titles. It's just something special just being on the international stage, being in a tournament like CONCACAF Champions League, where it's essentially the champions from each country in that continent facing off against the best of the best. I just love that how America gets to go out there. Everyone knows that name, Club America. You could be in any part, whether it be in Central America or North America, and it's gonna be like I know that team. And I feel like we in our recent performances we haven't really been the greatest. I want to say so. I think there was even a point in time where we almost got knocked out by Comunicaciones, which I feel like was a game which we should have won, and they took us to the limit in PKs if I remember correctly, which too we almost lost that time. Then we remembering that final against Monterrey. I really feel like we should have won that, but just it seems like Monterrey just always seems to have like our number up whenever it seems to be in a final. But I feel like this time around, I just really want us to be in a CONCACAF Champions League for us to win it all, and then to enter into the new edition of the tournament, which is going to feature 32 teams this time around. So it's gonna be a bigger competition this time around with more teams. It'll be fun to see what America could be doing, and to especially be back on the international stage for the rest of the world to see why we're in this tournament in the first place and why they see us as the biggest team in Mexico.
Yeah, I mean, I agree 100% with that statement, AJ. So, all right, interesting. Jason says, I agree. Game has changed. I feel like America, at least for now, could go toe to toe, 11v11 against a team like Chelsea, Benfica, Porto, teams that would be in this 2025 Club World Cup. So, Alan with a bold projection saying America versus Messi FC in the final for the CONCACAF Champions League. I would love that, actually, by the way. Absolutely would love that. But yeah, I'm gonna side with AJ and Dylan here. And I think I said it prior to the start of the new year. CONCACAF has to be the importance. It just has to be. Not to say that we're gonna just completely ignore the league, because that's not America standards by no means necessary. But if push comes to shove, you kind of feel like, okay, if at one point 2 games overlap, I'd rather we send our B squad to the league and our A squad to the CONCACAF Champions League game. And it's as simple as that. So, but it'll be interesting because I think Jardine has a lot of work to do. Now he has to balance 2 very, very important competitions for America, which I'm sure Leagues Cup helped a bit in a sense. But you can't really compare apples and oranges because you kind of took a pause for Leagues Cup and that's the only thing you focused on. But it'll be important for America to continue to have the depth that we've had, which I think is important. And I think it's also going to be important that, like you mentioned, Dylan, Jardine finds ways to keep other teams on their toes, because you don't want to be so predictable, because at the end of the day, all the teams are going to be watching that footage from last season, and your first world test is going to be against Xolos on Saturday. So we'll see if they can switch it up and find new ways around everything. So yeah, let's see. Transfers. Let's talk transfers. Everyone's favorite segment. Chris, I know that's it's all you.
I was gonna say
Um,
let's wait for Christian on that one because we're gonna have some funny reactions when we talk about a certain someone.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, I don't think Christian is here just yet, and looks like he might still be on the way over. But let's just wait. Let's wait a little bit. We won't mention that player just yet. We'll give him a little bit more time. Let's talk about outs. The players that have left officially from America for this season. There's only one, and that's Mauro Linus.
Oh, I
Oh,
thought
and Layun, because he retired.
Yeah.
I bet you none of you guys knew that Mauro Linus was still on the paybooks.
I mean,
I think I
AJ didn't.
remember. Yeah, I mean, he does. I'm about to be like, that's right, because we loaned him out again. Because wasn't he training with us at one point, like
Mhm.
last season?
Mhm.
Yeah, at one point before we just
Yeah.
sent him out on loan again. Okay, I know it wasn't going crazy.
So he's officially left.
he played the Leagues Cup,
went
didn't
out.
he? He played Leagues Cup. Didn't
No,
he?
he was on the
He
squad
played a
though.
game. Okay, I was like, I thought he played a game. He came in as a sub, but I don't remember.
But yeah, Mauro Linus officially has departed. I think he went to Mazatlan. So,
Mhm.
I mean, best of luck is to his endeavors right there. And of course, Miguel Layun retiring. What a career!
right
I mean,
there.
what more could we say? It's just the perfect ending to the fairy tale, Dylan. I mean, could you ask for anything better?
No, and this is gonna be a very hot take, but Layun in the final, 10 out of 10 rating for me. But he did it all. He did what he could, and you know what? He walked out champion. So I'll take it.
Yeah, no, I mean, hey, I can't discredit the guy. Absolutely, just worked his butt off in the year. I mean, who would have
Yeah.
thought he was going to be our best right back in the playoffs, right? So that's crazy. I know somewhere Brian's listening to this and he's just ecstatic
He's
that we're
probably-
finally giving Layun his flowers.
Yo, he
I
was
would
probably
give him his flowers, so.
crying. He was probably crying when Layun finally left.
Probably like send the
Jason-
invite.
Yeah. Jason asking about Alan Medina. He left a while ago. Am I not mistaken, AJ?
He was still on loan. We loaned him out to Mazatlan, and now he's officially purchased by Leon. So
Leon.
Another.
When
Yeah,
did that happen?
yeah, I'm learning about like the comments are mentioning these players. I'm just like, I recall they were on the team, but then I didn't see anything about Leon signing. But yeah, he's a Leon player now. So
That's crazy.
Look at that. Look at that.
The whole time I thought he was in Juarez.
I mean, he was. Yeah,
Well, he was, no?
yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He played for two full seasons at
Look
Juarez,
at that.
okay.
Well, shout out to Alan
The
Medina.
most pointless trade
yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
The most like
We lost
everyone was
our
mad.
center back, one of our most promising center backs to
Ortega.
get their most promising right mid, and it just failed completely. But hey, that's Baños for you. Which, by the way, I thought he was supposed to leave. What happened? Where's Mr. Saul Chapoy? Huh? Where is he? He
left.
promised me Baños was gone, regardless of whether we lifted the 14th. He promised me a goalkeeper. He promised me
Griezmann.
a left back, a young left back,
Griezmann.
and he promised me a World Cup champion that was in his prime. Chris, where are we gonna get this World Cup champion out of?
I don't know, bro. Maradona's coming back.
Oh my gosh! Look, Lloris went to LAFC, no, so that's already out of the picture.
Yeah,
I even would have hated that. I already know. I even would have hated it. You would have.
yeah. No,
Would've just said.
you know, wages wise, I mean, I think America could have definitely afforded him. This is on dirt cheap money. I think he's only on $325,000 a year.
But it's not a
super dirt cheap.
It would have been. It just
Yeah,
would have
no,
been
of course.
automatic.
Of course. So, but regardless, Saul Chapoy lied to all of us in our face. This is why I never
Or the
wanted to
money.
talk about him on the
I
podcast.
called
Whenever
him a
you guys started to
fraud.
talk about rumors,
Day one, I said
Mhm.
it, but no one believed me.
Hey, bro. He got the Sergio Ramos.
Chris was
number
like,
right.
he's
I was
an
like-
America worker.
He
knows
has
the
to
deal.
work there because he said it first, and then all of a sudden, all these like reporters were like, "Well, yeah, it is true." Like, what? Like, how come you guys don't tell us about this?
Look,
And then everyone
if-
was saying they're gonna have a meeting and this and that. I'm like, bro, like
look,
this guy has to
This
work
dude-
there.
This dude died. If he was in politics, he would have been a really good politician at that point. So I'm lying.
That's why I don't vote.
It's
Yo,
the funniest thing
Y'all
ever
lie to me.
because, like, for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, just for context, there was this social media account. It just appeared out of the blue during the summer transfer window, right before we signed Quiñones, claiming that he had gossip from inside Coapa, right? And that he knew everything that was going, the ins and outs of America. He promised Quiñones, he promised all these other players, and whenever it would fall through, he would just be like, "Oh, well, I never said he was for sure coming, but there was talks." And then Quiñones lands, and I think that's where everyone just exploded. Chris included, saying that he knows what he's talking about. He must be an
I didn't say
insider.
that. I didn't
Blah,
say
blah,
all
blah.
that. I didn't say
What you said, man.
No, I never said that.
You
Dylan
trusted
has been
him.
trying to
You
troll
trusted
me.
him.
I never said that. I just
No.
said, hey, bro, maybe let's just keep an eye out. Hey, but you guys can't go off on me. Christian believes a drunk guy.
Oh yeah.
It's even worse. At least this guy got something right.
At least this guy stayed sober for his tweets.
Exactly. I don't know. His tweets were super long. I never read them.
Yeah. Dude,
Nah.
Oh my god. No, that was what would annoy me the most. That would whenever you guys would send those threads to the group chat on Twitter, I would be like, I'm not gonna read this whole thesis statement.
And you would.
on
Yo, it's like the
And you
meme.
would.
it's like-
I would. At the end, I would. I'd be so mad, but I would read it and I would just be so frustrated. Like, dude, you could have done this in 2 tweets. There's no need to be saying all of this stuff.
Yo, it's like the meme. Congratulations for you, but I'm not gonna read all of that. Literally, it was
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
Like, I'm not. Dude.
Oh my god.
Nah.
Yeah,
what got
it
me
was
so-
hilarious.
Nah, what this dude was trying to say, he said, I predict the 14th, and people really always like, so you mean like every other fan who can predict anything, you're gonna give this guy a credit for? I'm like, stop, no. Go.
Yeah, no, it was hilarious. Alan actually saying they figured out his source and they started giving him false news. And Midwestern Xolo saying, of course, the biggest drama, which was after Saul ended up being right about the 14th and being right about Quiñones, is that he moved to a Telegram and required 100 pesos for entry. And that's the rumor from America Twitter, apparently. But we did the math, and he had about 197,000. 197,000 Americanistas on this WhatsApp that he charged 100 pesos for. 100 pesos. And he came out with, I was doing the math and he came out with like, what?
It was like 11K USD essentially.
Yeah,
That's
like
200,000. It's like 200,000 Mexican pesos. Pretty much like what you got.
basically walked out with a bag. Like literally
Yeah.
a bag.
This dude literally, I think someone on Xolo on Twitter like put a photo of Saul Chapoy just in an airplane with his Twitter account. I'm like, he
I saw that.
fleeced all of you.
I saw that.
He said, thank
He's
you
like,
for the
"Can I-"
vacation trip. Bye.
Yo, straight
He
up.
said,
So
I'm
it's
gonna
like,
go negotiate with Griezmann.
yo, it's like congrats. You just gave him the dough for like a round trip where I was like, yo, thank you guys.
That's funny.
It was hilarious and it was crazy. Absolute crazy madness. I don't think we'll ever see anything like that again. R.I.P. Saul Chapoy. God, you frustrated me so much. And, I just hope I never see you activate your account again.
Oh, he's coming back.
He's
coming
probably
Oh, dude.
He's
No,
probably
that'll
private
be-
right
that'll
now,
be
so we
the-
don't see him.
Mhm.
That'll be
private
the
right now.
gift that'll be the gift that keeps on giving for 2024. Just like the Michael
Oh,
Jordan
man.
meme. I'm back. I'm like, yep, here we go again.
And you know what? The worst thing is I know that there'll be people that believe him.
So,
know
dude, you don't see there's like arguments over that.
Yeah, Chris
Oh.
believed him.
Yeah, that
Chris believed
I
him.
never, I ain't never
Chris
believed it.
believed him.
I just said let's keep an eye out because this guy got the Quiñones and the Sergio Ramos thing right. That's all I said. And like I said, at least it's not the I didn't believe the
Yeah.
drunk guy.
Chris probably paid the 100 pesos, to be honest.
Yo, I believe that. I believe
Yeah.
that.
How much is 100 pesos in dollars? Like $9.
About
Right?
so yeah, pretty sure.
Then I'll send you $9.
there you go.
Oh, like almost $6. Okay, now we're slightly off. It's like 6 USD. So
It depends
We'll
on
see. Well, that was a fun trip down memory lane with Soldier Boy. But let's talk rumor departures here. The biggest one, I think, being Chava Reyes, obviously denied by the manager himself, which poses the question: why do we need three left backs? So I want that answer in a bit. Leo Suarez, Richard, and Cabecitas were all rumored to be also out the door. I think the only one that was concrete was Leo, though, although things have not seemed to be matching with his agent and other teams. So for now, all of those players are staying. Chris, why do we need three left backs?
Either the guy that we won't name until Christian gets here, if he gets here, I don't know if he'll be here, but either he's not looking good in his first day of training, Fuentes being old, or simply he's being moved to left wing and someone from the left wing is being moved to right. Because I don't think you want four wingers and we only have two right wingers, right? So maybe we see Quiñones on the right. I don't know.
I mean, he
I
did
know
play
the
there in the
correct
final.
answer.
Mhm.
All right, Dylan,
And
go
he did
for
play
it.
there.
All right, 3 left backs, 3 competitions. There you go.
Consider we have like 3 different tournaments, so that's a possibility as well.
There you go. See, y'all are thinking too hard on this. Like, come on.
And
Now.
then
Like,
there's one right back.
Chava
And then there's one right back.
Chava
Yeah.
is literally there for Leagues Cup, and that's it. We know it. Like, that's how bad it's gotten.
They're like, hey, you're not gonna play until summer, but just stick around, okay?
Yeah, exactly.
Just
Okay.
hang on.
I think it's crazy. You guys have heard anything else about anybody else leaving?
The Leo Suarez moved. Supposedly he was supposed to go to Necaxa, and then I mean we were supposed to get like 2 players in Necaxa. In return, we get Heriberto Jurado, and like try to develop him. That's like the only thing I've heard as well.
Okay, yeah, I heard the Leo Suarez thing also too, not going through. Richard and Capacita were supposed to go to Monterrey, right? That was a big headliner before the final too.
Mhm.
That all has seemed to die down. I mean, I don't see anything else. No traction whatsoever. It looks like these two are going to be key players, I would assume, for Jardine in this season to come. Like we mentioned, 2 very important competitions, a lot of game minutes, so that could also be tempting them to say.
I think that's also
Tells me there's going to be a big move. But in the end of the window, like always.
Dude, we won't know because Saul's not around anymore. Tell us.
Yo, facts. Where's Camilo Vargas, buddy? Yo, I'm waiting on him. Where he at?
Oh my God, bro. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
that would mean
and-
no
and,
sense.
what's his face from Santos? I forgot.
Omar Campos.
Yeah,
Oh,
Omar
Omar Campos.
Campos. But nah.
Well, that one was Gibran said that one was true. It's just that
Yeah,
I guess,
they just wanted too
they
much
were
money.
asking-
Yeah,
And he wanted too much
So.
money too.
Yeah.
I found my boy Luis Fuentes. He gets the job done. Ask what you gotta do for. Ask what you want from him. He'll do it. 90 minutes. So I'm fine with that for another 6 months.
Oh, we did
Yeah.
have another signing. I just remembered.
Who?
The youngster from Pachuca, Esqueda.
Oh, that's right.
Oh yeah, he's coming into the youth academy though.
Mm-hmm.
We won't really see him get minutes. So
Well, technically, he's our second right back. On paper.
on paper, yes. On paper, yes. I expect America to get another right back by the end of the transfer window.
Do you have a preference? Do you guys have any
Yeah,
preference?
yeah. Kevin's not cutting anymore, guys. He's got to go.
He's finished.
No, just
Well,
to
we need a backup.
just to give
We need
rotation.
a
Really,
backup.
to be honest, it's
Yeah.
gonna be a lot of games. So
Yeah.
And
We'll
he
see.
ended injured. The season injured, so or not injured,
Exactly.
but he got sick.
But he was
and
mostly
lost
sick.
hella
Yeah. Yeah.
weight. Yeah.
all
I
right,
say we bring back Julian Lam. That's what I think we should bring back.
in the right back position. Yeah.
One more.
Oh, well, you know what? Alan makes a good point. Lara shouldn't be the backup right back, but he technically is at the moment.
Please no.
Oh well, that's true.
I'm down.
but-
I'm down with it.
We're gonna have to run it. Have to run it.
Run it back.
Oh.
You
If,
run it
if
back.
it's against Gignac, I take him off. If Gignac is in the game at any point, I'm taking like Lara out. Nah, I can't see that boy get cooked.
All right. Well, now let's. We gave Christian enough time. He's not gonna make it, but
Okay.
let's talk transfers. The biggest one, gentlemen, the only one actually. It is the addition of Cristian Calderon, ex Chivas player, to join. Oh, look at that! Look at that! The man himself makes it right on time as we're about to talk about this.
You rushed once you heard the name. He's like, oh yeah, I need to
What's
Absolutely,
join.
going
He said,
on?
"Oh
it's
nah."
crazy.
He said, "Oh nah."
All right, let's welcome him to the podcast. Christian, making it in time. I'm just gonna throw the question right to you, Christian Calderon to America. Reactions? How you feeling? Why? What?
Yeah,
What
that's the
happened
question I
here?
asked. Why? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Oh, okay. All right, good. I thought I was having technical difficulties. First of all, I want to say good night, or yeah, good night to everyone. Hello. Sorry, I'm a little late. It's not my fault. There was traffic on the way home. But
Yeah,
we're
we,
here
we
now.
we let them know.
We're here now, and I guess you guys are talking about the subject that I was hoping wasn't touched yet, and this is our flaming new signing, right? A signing that it seems that a lot of people are surprisingly okay with it. Just right off the bat, I'm not a fan of it. But that doesn't mean that I'm not going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I think that everyone just deserves a clean slate. When they arrive to the club. Um, just for just prior instances, the last 2 seasons hasn't really been good for him. The off field issues, I think that we're at a point in the club where kind of like that drama aspect is gone from the club after it's been here for so many years. And I just don't want anything to to kind of bring that back, right? And I'm sure in this contract there's definitely clauses in there that prohibit him from doing any extracurricular activities of that nature, right? But it just seems like we could have went a different route. It looks like we were going a different route. And I think all of us could agree that I think there's like one or two canteranos even that could have probably filled that position the same way. Um, I mean, at some point in his career, he was looked like did look promising. Like I said, just in recent seasons, recent form, it just really doesn't have me that convinced. But like I said, though, anything can happen, right? It could turn out to be like an Igor type signing where pretty much no one really was a fan of it at first, but then he started winning us over with performances and just stability and just kind of coming in clutch whenever we needed him to. And if he wants to come in and do the same, that's fine. I think that's what we could hope for. It's just that it doesn't really excite me, like as a signing for me.
Do y'all
What
think?
exactly don't you like?
Like I said, it's
Like what?
just his past
What?
form. I think the past 2 or 3 hasn't been the best. And just the off field issues. I think that it's just too big to ignore that. One of the big four teams in Mexico had to suspend you from the club just because of off-field activities. That just doesn't roll with me. It's what we criticized Roger for about. He was kind of like that bad apple of the group, and we finally got that away, right? And I just don't want anything to kind of even like come back. 'Cause I think we all can agree the locker room's at a really good place right now. I think Jordan has done a really good job kind of bringing everyone together. I think everyone just buys into whatever we're trying to build towards which I think is only just the beginning. So I just don't want anything to kind of mess that up. But like I said, though, his contract probably did include clauses that kind of prohibit him or limit him from doing a lot of these things that he used to do. Right? I know the institution before and this one's not the same. But it's just like just things of those nature just what don't really convince me yet. But the only way he will convince me, and I'm pretty sure he'll convince many others, is through good performances, right? And you can't knock him if he's playing well.
Interesting. Now, Cesar saying here, which Canterano is he talking about? I'm assuming when you mentioned that you could give it to
Maureyes.
a Canterano.
Mhm.
Yeah, Maureyes, I think all of us want to see him get that chance.
Yeah.
He had
Dylan, are
good
you
numbers
going to
when
throw
he
a
got
question?
loaned out too.
Yeah, he did. He did. Dylan, you had a question that you were going to ask?
I did, but I forgot it already. So
All right, well, I guess we'll keep it going here. I mean, just general feelings about this. I personally, I didn't like it, but I guess like Christian says, give him the benefit of the doubt until proven otherwise.
Right.
AJ,
I'm fine with this signing. I mean, yeah, I mean, like there comes like the whole debate, like with America or Chivas sign like former America or Chivas player or whatnot. But then I always kind of like throw that thing of like give an example, even though like they really didn't cause like problems like Massa Rodriguez. He won the chip with Chivas back then. We got Massa from Stuttgart on a free transfer, came with us, helped us lift the towel. I think literally no one even complained about, or any Chivas fan at that time I could think of were complaining when Massa came. With Chicote, I feel like he still has a lot of quality in him. There's potential for him to get back to that form that he saw when we saw Nick Goxa. He was lighting up the league as a left back. He had 10 goals in 37 games for a left back. That's pretty impressive for someone who could even play up, I think, as a left winger as well, because there was times I think as well they did push him up slightly higher up on the pitch. I know the locker room issues that happened, the suspension that had to happen, which it got this already raising red flags with a lot of Americanistas plus, as you know, he's coming from Chivas. But me personally, it's depth that's being added to the team, which is good, considering Luis Fuentes is going to most likely retire once the 6 months is up. So someone's going to have to complete that spot, whether that's going to be Mau Reyes, Chava Reyes, if he stays as a left back, and then Chicote. If we can bring Chicote back down to earth, being as a professional, where he just gets out of, with issues out on the pitch, Jenny could bring him back down and find that form that we saw him at Necaxa. That'd be a great sign. Then, I considering the fact we got him at a free, in a way, we really don't have anything to lose. We got him a free. Meanwhile, Chivas literally had to pay $8 million for this guy. So for us, I mean, it's good for us. Just hoping now that Jardine can get the job done, Chicote can focus on football and find this form that everyone saw in Necaxa. Who knows? And if you can continue, if you can, get himself back on track, maybe Mexico national can even call him up as well.
Oof, that's a stretch, AJ. That's a big stretch, but
Hey, anything can
we'll see.
happen.
I don't think it is.
I guess.
I mean, we
Wow.
literally had
I think
Jordan
it is.
Silva called up. Yes, I know it was our friendly, but we had Jordan Silva out of all guys called up to the national league, and he scored. So anything can happen.
I guess that's true. Dylan, you buying or you selling this whole Chicote act? I'm sure you've seen his statement saying that he's ecstatic about being in America and that he has some America friends, that he's just living the dream of the childhood and all this stuff. You buying or you selling this act?
I'm pretty much buying in. I'm kind of on the side with AJ. I mean, it's a free transfer. I mean, it's low risk, with the potential of high reward. And correct me if I'm wrong, but weren't we kind of on the radar for him too? Whenever he was at Necaxa, whenever he was on a great form run too. So I mean, look, it's just kind of in a sense of full circle. Just obviously, it's not looking great because obviously, even though it's a free transfer, he's coming from Chivas. But I'm with it. I'm a little bit more bought in than Christian is. I don't think even Christian's even bought in at all. But like AJ kind of said, it's a low risk, but the reward of the end could be really high. There's high potential here.
All right, Chris, you're kind of 2 cents on all this.
3 cents.
I'm okay with the signing. I think it really depends on how you view it, right? There's a lot of people that say, how can we take a player from his past where he scored on us, he kissed their badge in front of us, just coming from there, how can we sign someone? And I can't blame anyone that looks at it from an emotional standpoint, right? Because it is part of the sport. You look at it, for example, in Ronaldo and Messi debates, right? You're a Real Madrid fan, you probably hate Messi. You're a Barcelona fan, you probably hate Ronaldo. Stuff like that, so it's part of the sport. But for me, I have to just look at it from just the player, what his style, what he is. To me, it's an upgrade. I do think he's better than Fuentes, and I do think he's better than Chava Reyes. I had a homie that told me that he's a Chava Reyes type player, and I could see that, but I do think he brings way more to the offense than either one of them. The discipline stuff, it's complicated, right? Because me and you, Ivan, we've talked about it. Chivas' issue is a cultural thing inside the locker room. Can I sit here and just be like, look what you did? Well, what did Chivas permit, right? Because he's not the first one, and he won't be the last one just based off what they have shown. So for me, it's one of those things where, well, what is our culture like? Well, our coach is very serious, right? Our players are very serious. Our owner is very serious. Like, to me, can we change a player like that? And I say yes. I know a lot of people are going to say Roger Martinez, right? Roger Martinez was locked because of his contract, because Villarreal still owned part of his card, right? We just couldn't get rid of him. He had more say than we did, and that was just a mess up from us. In this situation, anything happens, and it's easy to just cut loose, right? Like you said, maybe there's something in his contract, or even then, he came in free, so cutting him off his contract probably doesn't even hurt from that perspective, right? So for me, I'm okay with the signing just because based on the player, I do rate him, and I do, like AJ said, I do see him being called up to the national team if he does good. Because to be honest with you, I think Mexico's probably weakest position is the left back because I'm not sold on Arteaga and I'm not sold on Gallardo. And after that, who do you really call up? People say Omar Campos, and I think Omar Campos is a prospect that youngster or Mexican fans that just hype up every youngster, hypes them up. So for me, like, I do think if he gets his stuff together, yes, he'll be a Mexican call up, and it could be a steal for us. He said it himself in the interview. America was interested and was close to signing him until the coach at that time, which if I remember correctly was Piojo, said, "No, I don't want this player." Now it's maybe him. It was a regret, right, not joining us at that time. Well, now he has the chance to fix his career.
That's a good way of putting it, right? It's an opportunity to kind of vindicate himself and everything that he's kind of done in the league and his kind of negative past, and turn a new leaf. And what better way to do it than in the biggest club in Mexico, right? In America. So we'll see. I don't think he gets a lot of minutes from the get go. It's just the reality of it. Wow.
I think he starts week 1. Yeah.
Wow, that's okay. All right. Did not expect that. That came out of left field from Chris.
You don't think he starts week 1?
No, there's no way.
I think he starts week 1.
I don't think anyone else is here on board with you on that one.
You guys don't agree that he starts week 1? Okay, we'll
I
find
think
out.
it's going to be Fuentes or Chava Reyes.
You just have to respect the hustle that is the 1978 Nissan. He's just been reliable.
But we are going with the B team for Saturday, right? B team.
Quote, unquote,
Allegedly.
B team.
Allegedly. Supposedly.
It's not even a B team. It's like a C team since it's all academy players.
C team.
Yo,
Well, we'll see. We'll talk about that right now.
I think he'll get minutes.
Go for it.
I just don't think he'll start though.
We'll see that.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. More transfer rumors in regards to who's coming in. What have you heard on your side, Christian?
Nothing.
Nothing from Saul.
It's been the desert with the what's it called, the balls going across the desert, the weed
Oh, the
tumbleweeds.
tumbleweed, yeah.
yeah. That's what it's been. I think the message was clear. If we can bring in 1 or 2 people to kind of help us out, the one being Chicote, 2 I guess is the right back that we're waiting for to kind of back up Kevin Alvarez. I think we're done, right? I think that was a good move, not letting anyone leave. With the rumors of Cabecita leaving and Leo Suarez leaving, I think it was good that they both stayed. I think they both add things
Depth.
within themselves, and we're gonna need it. Like I said, we're gonna play in 3 tournaments this year. So I think it's crucial that we have every single one of these players good, fit, healthy, ready to go whenever the moment calls.
I agree. The only thing I have written down here is obviously Ricardo Chavez from San Luis, Ivan Moreno from León, and a name that just popped out of the blue, Mauricio Cuevas from the LA Galaxy. Is that?
Oh, you forgot
any other name I missed?
Someone. Yeah. What's his name? Avion Calderon, I think. Is it Avion from León? He got offered to us.
He did?
Is that his name? That's what I read. That they rejected. They rejected the Ivan Moreno offer, I guess, or interest, and they offered Avion, which everyone would hate. If we're being honest, everyone would absolutely hate that.
Avion Ramirez. Alan saying Avion Ramirez.
Or Ramirez.
Plain?
Who did I say? Calderon. That's the other short guy, right?
Something. Yeah.
Yeah. They both played for Chivas. That's the only way.
Yo, imagine that. America tour would have been having a day with that.
Yeah, this would have been crazy. Look, I thought there was some traction between Ivan Moreno and America, just because he's an academy player. I thought it would have been nice to have him come back. Do you remember him? Whenever we used to rate him,
Yeah,
when we started podcasting.
Yeah, I like him a lot. I mean, I'd love to see him come back, but
Dude's goated
Same.
on FIFA as well. Dude, I think he played like foot champs as well. And he was like, he was like always tweeting like, yeah, like this is where I am, and like dude was like think like top 20 or something. So hey, if
A lot of time.
if we ever get that tournament again with FIFA, I mean, you already know who we putting in each game, each game day. So
100%, 100. The Ricardo Chavez one, I thought maybe just because played under Jardine, but nothing there. And the Mauricio Cuevas one was weird. It just kind of came out of the blue.
It makes sense though.
Who reported it? Was it Fair?
Yeah,
So-
that's why you were like the Galaxy reporter is legit, but not the guy that he's quote retweeting.
Yeah, yeah.
Speaking of
He
out of
was,
the blue, did you guys talk about that signing that we got from Pachuca, the U23 signing?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
a right back.
Yeah,
He's a
the
right
right
back,
back,
but
yeah.
I don't know if he plays right away.
That came out of left field.
Yeah, 100%. I asked the corner of the Galaxy. They're very much in the know of everything going on around the world of the LA Galaxy. I DM'd them and nothing concrete on their end either. So I think again it might have just been some smoke, or maybe there was just a name thrown in there that they kind of thought, okay, we'll put his name there. But yeah, no, Christian, I think this is the first time in a long time that it's been crickets for America.
I think it's just because simple fact that what is there to kind of really upgrade. I think that we're pretty solid in all positions. I think one position I would have liked to seen would have been probably the right wing side. I think if we maybe could have added an element there. I don't think I would have been opposed to that. Just to give us something different, because I think Leon Sendejas, while they do bring different things, they're very similar. In my opinion, like what in the output that they've shown us.
They're
So
not
maybe
dribblers.
like a Brian Rodriguez kind of guy on the right would have been welcomed. But I mean, if like I said, that's why I think it was crucial for Leo to stay, because we do need that kind of element also on the right wing to kind of back up Sendejas as well throughout the season.
Can we mention real quick before we go on? Excuse me. Can we mention that this dude right here that just finished talking wanted Funes Mori to come to America
I did.
to back up Henry, and
I
I
did.
don't understand why, dude.
I did.
I don't understand. Like what?
That's a
Yeah, explain yourself, Christian. Explain yourself.
MX striker to back up our GOAT. There's nothing wrong with that. I
No.
think.
Don't say our. You
No.
wanted him gone.
Yeah.
Argue over Villa and Henry. Don't say that.
Might go
Don't-
down.
We were.
But see, that's how you win people over with good performances. Because he was scared at the beginning.
World Cup says
Sorry,
otherwise.
bro,
Al.
we argued about the national team Funes Mori too.
Oh, the World
Yeah, but
Cup.
na-
Forget
national
about
team-
that.
National team and league players are very different. They're very different stories.
I just don't rate stationary nines, bro. If you're gonna, just
Yeah, I don't
stand
think
there,
he adds anything to this America side. To be honest, you need a mobile 9.
Yeah, you
Roman
need someone
Martinez
to be able
moves
to.
more
Yeah.
than this Mori.
And Henry does a lot of dirty work that Morty's not going to do.
No,
Which
he won't get his hands dirty like that.
Can be special. But if we're being honest, though, anyone that plays the 9 really doesn't do that good of a job anyway.
There you go, Roman.
Kind of lost. Cabecita played
No,
a little bit lost.
Cantu, I think
I like
Cantu
Salas,
and
bro.
Salas. Cantu and Salas have, I
I
think,
like Salas.
I
a
like
promising.
They played all of 2 minutes with us, though.
Yeah,
They got
which is why I think, yeah,
Which is
it's why you
why
give him a little more time.
Striker wouldn't have been bad to back up Henry, even if it
I
was
don't
just
disagree with you.
But Morty is not the answer.
Yeah, you don't waste a foreigner spot on Funes Mori. No,
Unless you're Pumas.
unless you're Pumas.
You know who Sona actually thought of, even though it's like Ram. I don't know if anyone's gonna agree with me. Leo Bonatini from like Atletico San Luis. I don't know, just something about that dude during his time there. He looks solid, which I wouldn't mind, because if Jardine knows him, if he decides to bring a guy that he does know that's in Mexico and that's actually performing well, I guess like average, I could say, for San Luis. I mean, I wouldn't mind a Bonatini, but then it comes to the idea like it's gonna be a foreigner spot we're wasting.
This all could have been avoided if we just kept one Federico Viñas. That's it.
Oh
That's
my
all I gotta
God,
say.
bro.
So
You know what? Let's wrap it up.
Oh my god!
Let's wrap
Oh,
it
no,
up.
no.
Let's wrap it
no.
up.
Yeah,
I'm not getting
this
into
is-
this bit in the new
Yeah.
year. I'm not. I left them in the past, brother.
Yeah, you know what? That's all the time we have here.
That's all I have to say. Bro.
yo,
We haven't even
Alright,
talked
yo.
about Xolo yet.
Yeah. Let's just okay, transfers out the window. That's just Christian
Before
closed the
we
door
move
on that.
That man almost scored a banger on us in that second leg.
Yeah,
If he did
Yeah.
that, I would have
And
been
he
done.
almost
I would have walked
eliminated us.
out. I would have walked out.
but he
And we
didn't,
didn't. We ended up
and that's the
struggling
truth.
without him.
You're right.
Wrap
he
it
didn't.
up.
He didn't.
And that's Vina's career summed up.
Almost. Like he almost won
Practically.
2019.
Mm-hmm.
Almost.
It's
You
an
know who did,
almost
though?
career.
Almost.
You know who did win was the champ?
You know what? Let's just
I was
move on.
gonna say-
Let's just move on. Let's just move
I
on.
was gonna say his name, but Ivan was already looking away.
Let's move on. America versus Cholos this Saturday. First game of the season. America's flying out to Tijuana. Estadio Caliente. Gentlemen, I always hate playing in turf. And more so whenever it is against Cholos. It just seems that we never have promising games there. They're either dull 0-0s, 1-1s, little goal here, little goal there. Nothing exciting ever happens. Maybe it's because they're on Friday nights. This one's going to be Saturday night. It's been a while since I've seen a Cholos game on Saturday night for America. So, I guess first things first, give me your prediction lineup for this one, Christian.
Oh God, I couldn't even name you. With all the reports I've been seeing, it just seems like we're going with U23 players as the.
Well, look, here's the thing.
Is
Whoever's
Tapia back?
reporting tomorrow, no, Tapia is still on loan. Whoever's reporting themselves tomorrow in Coapa is not going, which is going to be Brian, Diego.
Sendejas reported today.
Senejas is back already. Cabecita,
Cabecita, yeah.
and I believe Richard, because I haven't seen Richard.
Sad.
I don't think they played the friendly today either, though.
What in that
So
Salamanca, I think it was. That's like who we played. Who we
7-0.
7-0,
6-1,
Calderon.
7-0.
6170, right? Yeah. Which one was it at the end?
Either way,
I have no
Chicote
idea.
scored, so I was like, that's the start.
Chicote
There you
did
go.
score. Who else scored?
Got scored.
It was our left
So-
backs. I think
Got the assistant too, bro.
Yeah, it was our left backs that were scoring.
I think for sure we're gonna have Malagon in goal.
Yeah.
Kevin's back, and you need to get him back at 100, so you have to start him. The center back is where I'm a little bit confused. I don't know who start. I'm assuming Ramon Juarez, and maybe
Araujo.
I don't know. Not Araujo. No, no.
I think Igor starts.
Igor.
Yeah. I think
And on the left, I think you have to give Fuentes.
either
the
Fuentes or
opportunity.
Torre, I think will start.
Chicote.
Yeah.
Chicote starting.
It's not gonna be Chicote.
No, no.
The midfield is where it gets tricky. I think we might see Naveda start.
I'll be
agree.
down with that.
We see Naveda start. I wouldn't be surprised if Hidalgo does play this game as well. He plays everything.
You know who I think starting in the right wing?
Who?
Bruce Mismari. That's who I think is gonna start.
Interesting. You really think he'd get minutes?
I like that kid.
I mean, Leo just got there, right? Sendejas just got there. I don't think they make the trip. Maybe one of them makes the trip. I don't think they start. I think Jardinel likes Bruce Mismari too.
Bruce,
Yeah.
He does.
Miss Mari.
So I think he starts.
Okay, that's an interesting one. Who's playing left wing?
I think Brian starts.
Brother.
Yeah.
Brian's not even there, right?
Brian's not gonna
Oh,
travel.
yeah,
Bro,
he's not-
Oh, that's the
No, he's reporting tomorrow.
Bruh.
Chava Reyes could play as a left
Oh
wing.
God, here we go.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I,
Look, dude.
Fuentes,
talking
Chavez,
Chicote.
Chava.
Talking
Yo,
Chicote.
Oh,
God, this is I'm losing all optimism for
Is
Saturday
Quiñones-
as
No,
we
like,
go
What is
down the
Quiñones
list.
doing?
Yo,
Where-
that's our set. Sink or
did we go
swim
wrong?
time.
Where did we go wrong?
Quinones is reported yesterday along with Henry. I mean, I could see them starting.
I think Salah starts.
I would like that.
This is a repeat of the first jornada against Juarez. We just played nothing but the youngsters.
yes.
No, we
For like,
we
no, it was
remember
the-
we benched the whole starting team for them, and then we lost.
Yeah.
Yo,
It's just- it's
facts.
flashbacks
Literally
to
the
that.
minute we
would have
lost.
had that golden trophy if it weren't for these kids.
So then, yeah, pretty much. So, shout out to Cari
Don't tell
saying the
Brian.
gang is back.
Don't tell Brian that. He
Yeah.
got mad at me after the game. I tweeted, "This is why you never start these youngsters." He's like, "Where are they supposed to start then?"
Yeah. He was not too happy about that.
Yo,
Um
check Ricardo's comment. I'm down with that too. Ivan's about to cry.
Mozumbito.
How do you
Yo,
guys feel about him?
he about to stand on
Honest
that
opinion.
ball. He's about to get that ball. He's gonna be on a one-on-one. He's gonna stand on that ball. That's what he's gonna do.
Chicote told me that will be starting for Mexico 20 after he lives to be campeonato, of course. No, we'll see, Ricardo. We'll see. Well, point is, it's going to be a very heavily rotated starting 11 come Saturday.
I think Oscar Jimenez.
Realistically, huh?
I think Oscar Jimenez starts. By the way.
No, I
Let's
think
go.
I think Malagon starts.
I'm down for that. My boy.
I don't know, bro. Something's gonna be very rotated.
We're gonna watch us get like a whole B/C team, and then the second half it's like, all right, let's actually maybe put
Some youngster we never even heard about. Like
facts.
just
I mean,
playing.
like, regardless, we're gonna get
funny,
a mixed bag in this first
That
game.
we're on the road for this game. Like at least last year we were home, so I thought there could be some sort of a little advantage. But we're playing in turf. We're sending the kids to play on turf.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why my question is,
Now we're
realistically, what can we expect from America on Saturday?
we're getting destroyed 3-0.
Yo, chill. Come on now.
Yo, yo.
Stop. I mean, if we're gonna try, I mean, stick to what Zhang has been doing throughout the entire season. Hope that these youngsters can then get an idea to what Zhang is asking of them. And I mean, kind of just hope for this we don't get blasted 3-0 like by half. But I mean, who knows?
Against Piojo to make it worse.
Against Piojo.
He's gonna get so mad if he loses to a bunch of youngsters. He's gonna lose it. He's gonna blame the refs probably right after. Ivan, you're muted.
Híjole.
My bad. It's just I clicked somewhere else and I was pressing the keyboard function. I was like, why isn't it working? I mean, Dylan, is it fair to say that we should just throw this game up in arms and just kind of chuck it away and be like, well, it is what it is? Or do you think that there's a possible chance that this America side can pull something off? A very heavily rotated America side.
Man, just don't lose is all I'm saying. I'll take a draw at this rate, man. I mean, that's just how I see it. I mean, I've always said it, and I'll say it time and time again. I mean, the way the league is structured, I mean, you don't play the same. I mean, in a sense you do, but you know, you have the opportunity at the Clausura. You don't play the same team twice, and you know the opportunity. You know, so I mean, every point matters. You know, every game matters at this rate, and so I just feel like you can't lose. You can't lose no matter what. I mean, I'll take the point at this rate, but you know, I can't see this team walking away with nothing. Because that I feel like it would be a bad start to the season, regardless if it's heavily rotated or not.
You know, I don't think we need that kind of attention, to be honest. So, I mean, we'll see. Optimism is not as high, but still, I think we're capable. I mean, we're a talented team with depth, and this game should show that to some extent. So, I mean, we'll see, and we'll kind of go from there. So give me your guys' prediction for Saturday. I'll throw it to you first, AJ. What's your scoreline prediction?
Bold 2-1 America. I feel like
2-1. Wow.
I'll say 2-1.
All right.
I feel like it can happen.
Okay, I'll take it. Dylan?
I'll stick with the 1-1.
Okay. Chris?
3-1.
3-1.
That's
That's why I started laughing when you said, "Oh, wow." You're like, "Wow." 2-1. 3-1.
Okay. The kids are gonna be well, Brian's gonna be happy seeing the kids show out like that. Christian, you sticking with your 3-0 blowout for Xolos, or are you changing it?
Nah, I'll be a little nicer. I'll go 1-1.
1-1. Okay. I'll go as conservative as I can. 1-0 for America.
Wow, this team wants
And
So
we
we're all-
win it
we're
by
either
like a
going for
lucky draw.
We're going for a draw or win, okay. And we were all talking bad, and then we're out here just like, yeah, we'll get a point or 3 points, you know.
It's the hubris of being a champion, I guess.
It's true.
So
There's gonna be an academy player that shows out. That's my prediction.
Hopefully, that'd be
That's
nice.
what.
yeah,
That's what I believe. I don't know who. I like Salas just because, like I said, I like strikers that drop down, they fight for everything, and when I've seen them play, he does that. There's other strikers that you see them just super like, or youngsters just super nervous, just they lose the ball right away. And when I saw him play, and that's what you want, right? You want them to, because if you get only 20 minutes or 15 minutes or 5 minutes, you're not getting the ball your way because it's probably already wrapped up. But if you're dropping down and you're fighting for every ball and everything, then to me, like he did that when he. What game was it? I think it was a Liguilla game, maybe. Henry was. They took him out. Maybe it was the first leg against San Luis. Was it?
Oh,
I remember he played.
You talking about Manu Perez? You talking
No,
about him?
Salas.
Oh, my
Salas.
bad. I was thinking.
He played a game, and I remember they put him for like 20 minutes, 15 minutes, and he was just dropping down everywhere. And to me, like that's important because what you want is in modern football, you don't want a stationary nine. You want someone that drops down, fighting everything, and that's what I saw from him. So I think hopefully he stands out because like we said, I don't want Quiñones being at the 9. I don't want Cabecita being at the 9. If something happens to Henry or if you're resting him or whatever, you don't want that. But chances are that's what you're going to end up seeing, right? But if Salas is able to like show that he's capable of playing and scoring goals, it's cool. We're not going to rush him because Henry has that locked in for maybe a couple more years. But regardless, it's still nice to like have someone back there that's an academy player and whatever happens, you have him. And Mosambito too, like I don't rate him, but I do think he puts in the effort sometimes. He does drop to the wing and everything. So if it's him, hopefully he does good too.
Another saying, Harine already said that everyone is ready except Capsita, Brian, and Valdez. So we'll see. We'll see what the reality is. All we know is that America's back on Saturday, and we'll be covering it over on Twitter. So make sure you guys are following us over there. And yeah, we'll do our best to make you guys up to date with everything going on in Las Águilas and America. So make sure you guys do follow us. And
we're on Instagram.
The what?
We're on Instagram Live.
Hey, we're on Instagram Live as well. Shout out to everyone on Instagram.
Hello,
as well.
everyone.
You guys can catch us there now. So, yeah, I mean, what more can we say? Thank you guys so much. Start of the new year. Gentlemen, anything else to add on before we wrap it up here?
Where is the Campeón patch gonna go? Like on the sleeve, you think?
On the sleeve.
Yeah. Cool. I need to get a jersey with that.
Yeah, I agree. Ricardo's saying the only thing we need left is an OnlyFans as we're everywhere else. Well, Ricardo, maybe one day we'll be streaming live on there as well.
Oh my God.
But until then,
hey, never mind.
Oh, naked podcast.
I was gonna say a joke, but never mind.
Chris, don't cancel us already, okay? It's barely the start of the year.
We just started the year. We're starting our first podcast 2024. Come on, brother.
Save it for at least Jornada 3 or something.
No comment.
Alrighty then. Well, I just want to say thank you guys for making it out. Christian, I know you had to go through a whole jungle of traffic to make it here, but thank you so much for coming out. Chris, I know you're freezing over there because I am as well. So stay warm. Dylan, buddy, as always, it's a pleasure.
How cold is it over there?
I'm not cold,
It's
like I'm getting sick. That's my issue.
Same. I'm 1000% sick right now. So
what's the temperature?
but we're just
34,
Californians.
right?
We're just
I love the
Californians.
cold.
Anything under 60 degrees and we start complaining.
Yeah.
No, it's not 60. It's 40 something.
40 something?
It's
Yeah.
34
Oh,
right
that's
now.
short weather.
Yo, facts.
I love the cold, but
I love the cold too.
I mean,
I love the
It's
cold.
nice.
I mean, I understand Ivan. I understand why he's probably complaining. I live on
No,
the
I mean,
main
I love the
street,
cold.
so all the cars are
but
passing
I also
by,
love
so it's
complaining.
colder than
Yeah.
understandable.
Still,
I'm with you.
regardless, it's funny, Chris. The weather always seems to find its way back into the podcast. So
I ain't started this time. You guys can't. I left that in 2023.
That's true. That's true. All right, Dylan, AJ, again, thank you guys so much.
Being as
Huh?
complain about the weather.
Oh my god.
Yo, my God.
Okay,
Potato has
that's it.
hamstring.
We're wrapped. It's a wrap here, guys. All right, you guys have a wonderful night. Take care. Be safe. Dylan, AJ, again, thank you guys so much for making it out. Thank you to all of our listeners. Thank you to everyone that was out here talking on the comment section, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. You guys are the best. Thank you so much. Cesar, Alan, Ricardo, Kari, Jason, Luis, Giovanni, Philip Ortiz as well. Thank you guys again so much, and to everyone else that was listening and who is listening right now on your guys' phones. Thank you guys so much as well. Thank you. Be safe, and as always, we'll be back next week to talk all things America. As always.
What did you guys do for Christmas?
Oh my God, let's go, guys. All right, you guys take care as always. Arriba la America. Good night.
Ladies and gentlemen, this was another production of the Eagle Eye Podcast. The #1 source for all things Club America in English. Make sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Eagle Eye Podcast and get all the latest news and coverage. And subscribe to our podcast wherever it is you may listen.